You already know when someone does not like you. You feel it before they say a single word. But what if I told you the exact moment they reveal it, and it takes less than 2 seconds? Think about the last time you asked someone a simple question. Hey, want to grab dinner this weekend? And before they answered, there was a pause. Not a long one. A fraction of a moment where their face did something their words never would. That tiny gap between your question and their response told you everything. You just did not know how to read it yet. Researchers have studied this for decades. Albert Mehrabian, a psychologist at UCLA, found something that reshaped how we understand communication. He discovered that when someone expresses a feeling or attitude, only about 7% of the message comes from the actual words. Around 38% comes from tone of voice. And the remaining 55% comes from facial expressions and body language. That means more than half of what someone really feels about you is written on their face, not in their sentences. And that 2-second pause, the one right before they respond to you, is where the truth leaks out. Their conscious mind has not caught up yet. Their social mask is not fully in place. For just a moment, you are looking at the real person. You're watching Mind Unlocked, where we decode the hidden patterns of the human mind. Now here is the part that hits close to home. Paul Ekman, a psychologist who spent over 40 years studying facial expressions, identified what he called micro-expressions. These are involuntary flashes of emotion that cross someone's face in roughly 1/25th of a second. They are so fast that most people never consciously register them. But your brain does. Ekman mapped out the muscles involved in every human emotion and built an entire coding system around it, the facial action coding system. What he found was that people cannot fake these micro-expressions. You can put on a smile, you can say all the right things, but in that split second before the performance begins, your face tells the truth. They all flash across the face involuntarily. And they happen most reliably in one specific window, right after someone sees you or hears your question, before they have had time to construct a response. So that pause you feel when someone hesitates before answering you is not nothing. It is actually a window into what they are processing. Research on response latency, the time between a question and an answer, suggests that longer pauses often indicate internal conflict. The person is not just thinking about what to say. They are deciding how much of the truth to hide. When someone genuinely wants to see you, the yes comes fast. It comes with movement, with energy, with a shift in posture toward you. When someone does not, there is that beat. That half second of stillness where their body has not yet received instructions from the polite part of their brain. You have probably felt this 100 times without naming it. You walk into a room and someone's face lights up for a fraction of a second before settling into a neutral expression. Or the opposite happens. You greet a coworker and something tightens around their eyes before they smile. You cannot explain it. You just walk away with a feeling. An uneasy sense that something was off. That feeling is not paranoia. That is your brain processing micro-expressions below conscious awareness. Ekman's research showed that while most people cannot articulate what they saw, they can reliably sense whether an expression was genuine or performed. Your instincts are picking up on real data. You just never learn to trust them. Think about that for a second. Every interaction you have had today already contained this information. Every greeting from a friend, every response from a colleague, every reaction from someone you care about. The truth was right there on their face, in the pause before their words covered it up. Now here is what most people get wrong. They see the pause and immediately assume the worst. They think every hesitation means rejection. But Mehrabian's work also showed that context matters enormously. A pause can mean someone is genuinely thinking. It can mean they are distracted. The key is not just the pause itself but what happens in that pause. Does their jaw tighten slightly? Do their eyes move away from you before snapping back? Or do their eyebrows lift and their head tilt, the way it does when someone is actually considering something with interest? The muscles do not lie, even when the mouth does. So what do you do with this? First, stop listening so hard to words. Words are the most edited, most rehearsed, most controlled part of any interaction. Start watching the moment before the words arrive. The transition between hearing and responding is where people are most unguarded. Second, pay attention to your own pauses. Because if you can read this in others, they can feel it in you. Every time you hesitate before answering someone, every time your face does something your mouth contradicts a moment later, you are broadcasting the same signals. The people around you may not have the vocabulary for it, but they feel it. And over time, those micro moments of mismatch erode trust in ways that no amount of kind words can repair. The next finding makes this even more uncomfortable. Ekman observed that the people closest to us are often the worst at reading our micro expressions. Strangers sometimes do better. Because the people who love us have a motivation to not see the truth. They want to believe the smile is real. They want to believe the enthusiasm in your voice matches what your face did a half second before you spoke. So they override their instincts. They choose the comfortable interpretation. And the gap between what is felt and what is acknowledged grows quietly, for months, sometimes years, until someone finally says, "I always knew something was off." Here is the part that gets personal. You have someone in your life right now whose pauses you have been ignoring. Someone whose face does something you pretend not to notice. And you also have someone who has been reading your pauses, picking up on every flash of hesitation you thought you hid. The 2-second window does not just reveal how others feel about you. It reveals how honest your relationships actually are. The distance between what the face shows and what the mouth says is the exact distance between two people. So tonight, try something. Have a conversation with someone you care about and watch the first half second after you say something meaningful. Do not listen to their response. Watch their eyes, their jaw, the corners of their mouth. You will see something you have always known but never let yourself fully recognize. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The pause always tells the truth. The question is whether you are ready to hear it. Subscribe to Mind Unlocked for more insights into how your mind really works.